Hey friend, I'm Mike McCurry. Welcome to Bible Tract Echoes. Did you know that I recently released my very first publicly available original song? We're going to talk about that a little bit more later on in the broadcast. But before we do, we're going to have a little bit of fun. You see, my friend, my brother-in-law, the director of operations of Bible Tracts Incorporated, his name is Austin Marriott. Have you ever watched one of those National Geographic or Planet Earth videos with someone like David Attenborough or Morgan Freeman doing a little voiceover? Well, I decided to have a little bit of fun. We're going to take you, those of you just listening on the radio, use your imaginations as we go inside the control room and observe the engineer, Austin Marriott. At the heart of Paul Levine Studios, we find a rare and diligent species known as Austin Marriott. Known to many as the director of operations, but to nature, he is an artisan of acoustics. With a keen ear, he delicately ensures the harmonious balance between every note and nuance. Look closely as his fingers dance nimbly over the mixing board, each movement deliberate, each button, each fader, an instrument in his orchestra. His eyes, sharp and attentive, scan multiple screens while his ears pick up the faintest of irregularities that might escape the untrained listener. In this digital jungle, Austin is both predator and protector, hunting down any imperfections and safeguarding the integrity of the music project. Here, in the dimly lit control room, surrounded by a plethora of knobs, switches, and screens, Austin Marriott thrives and continues, meticulously directing a symphony of technology and talent in perfect harmony. You know, as we look at the music production process, and we've learned a lot about it. You knew much about it before we got into this Paul Levine Studios concept and all of that, but we've learned a lot. And thankfully, we have really good experts to call when we have good questions. Right. But it's not a one-man show. And you can listen to a song like The Old Kitchen Table or any song that you enjoy, and very rarely is the artist also the engineer and producer and mixing and mastering and tuning and timing and all of this type of stuff. And so you may hear my voice, and yeah, the Lord, I was blessed to be able to write the lyrics for it, but there's so much that goes into it. And if you back all the way up, you think about the impetus and the inspiration for the song, The Old Kitchen Table, looking back at who we call Gigi, Grandma Great, Lena Woodward, our grandmother-in-law. Give us a little recollection of your remembrance of Lena Woodward.
So I've been a part of the Woodward family through marriage for 15 years now, and Grandma Great was a large part of that in a myriad of ways. Just always being able to have a listening ear. I could sit and talk with her and ask questions, and getting to hear her stories many years ago of when she was on the mission field, and that whole experience of coming over from India, being born in India, coming back, and those were some fond times. But then even more so was her prayer life. She was a woman of prayer and would spend hours a day praying for all sorts of different individuals, but I knew that every single day she was praying for me and for my wife and my kids and our family and our ministry. And the power of prayer is just an incredible thing. And when we experience that here at Bible Tracts, we talk a lot about how we can feel and sense when people are praying for us, and how God just opens doors and works and allows us to accomplish things that are just to His honor and glory. But it's through the result of people like Grandma Great who are praying for us and praying for the ministry. It's just a wonderful thing.
The other night, it just came to mind. I was at our home church. Very rarely happens, but I was at our home church, and one of the ladies came up and she said, back when the song first came out, it was like September, late August. She was playing it at her work, and one of her coworkers, she looked over and was just tears running down her face, and she turned to her and said, I know it works. I know it works. And she said, what? She said, I know prayer works. And this lady, a long story short, is praying for a prodigal. And of all the prayers that I have for the old kitchen table, if it would just encourage a few parents to continue praying, to not stop praying for a prodigal, that for me, it would be a massive success. But then as we move forward into the music production process, this particular song came together fairly quickly, and we kind of had almost a time frame that we had to get it done by, almost self-inflicted, self-imposed. But I believe Grandma Great passed away on like the May 20th or thereabouts. And then a week later, barely, was her funeral. I think I penned the last words to it the evening of May 19th before she passed away. And then it was how the Lord did it. She passed away in the evening hours, early morning hours of May 20th. And then in that week, we were like, what if we had this song at the funeral? And so it was recorded. The piano player did a phenomenal job. And then you had to go to work. Tell us just a little bit behind the scenes for people that don't understand. Please know, I don't sound like I do. Studio, there's amazing things. The gentleman that helps us with a lot of this stuff, he said this, I can tune a football. And so sometimes that may be my shape spheroid or something. Anyway, but tell us, for people who don't understand the music production process, real quick, how does all that work? After I lay down some vocals, what happens next?
So it's a process, and it is a collaboration of technology and also of talent of different individuals who have helped us with that. And there's a lot that goes into it. Once a song is recorded, many times when you hear a song live, you think it sounds great. And then if it's recorded and you go back and listen to it 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 times, you begin to hear little nuances of mistakes, and then all of a sudden they become glaring, and then that's all you hear. And so we try to go through and pick apart the pieces that are recorded to get them to where you can listen to them 100 times and there's no problems, and you want to listen to it 100 times. And so there's a process that we go through with taking the vocals that are recorded, and especially when it's multiple voices, we go through and time everything so people are coming in together, cutting off together. And even the best of groups, that's not a live thing that just happens. That's a technology and software that takes and algorithms that are put into play, and it's really an incredible thing how the technology works. But timing that up and then timing the vocals to the instrumental and the orchestration that we go through, and then taking, like Micah said, and going and tuning the vocals. And it's interesting, even as good as vocals sound live many times, when you go back through and again start to listen to it multiple times, you begin to hear just a touch flat or just a touch sharp or not quite on the note. And again, going into the technology that is just phenomenal, that can take that and we can adjust and correct those things to where it sounds as good as it possibly can be. And then, like Micah mentioned, we have a man who helps us, and he is just a phenomenal source of knowledge, 40 plus years in the recording industry, and had owned his own recording studio. And so we ping a lot of things off of him, and then also we send him things, and he does our mixing and mastering for us, and is just a phenomenal source for us. And he turns what sounds pretty good into something that sounds amazing. And so it's a collaboration of efforts of thankfully, the way that technology has come in the last 20, 30, 40 years in the recording scene, and then also being able to utilize talents of individuals, like he mentioned, our piano player, who's also our orchestrator, the engineering, which I get to have the privilege to be a part of, and the tuning and timing, and then our friend who does the mixing and mastering. And of course, the vocal talent, we have to have that, and there would be no song without that, and the songwriter, and all those different things. But it's a collaborative effort that just accomplishes something that our goal at Paul Levine Studios is just to be able to be a blessing to those Christians who are out there, and this song specifically, right, to be an encouragement to those who are praying for someone, and to not give up, and to know that God hasn't given up on them, and so we shouldn't either. Continue to pray for those individuals who are away from the Lord, and to see how lives can be turned around for good and for His glory, and can be used in a powerful and a mighty way.
Amen. And I'm excited to tell you more about future projects that will be coming out from Paul Levine Studios. But don't go anywhere. We're not quite done with Bible Tract Echoes.
I've had such a wonderful time today. We had a little fun at the beginning of the program, and then we got to interview Austin about this song, The Old Kitchen Table. My prayer, as I've already mentioned, is that it will be a blessing to many parents, mothers, and fathers who are praying for a prodigal. Maybe you'd like to listen to it. During this broadcast, maybe you've heard just a little bit of the instrumentals underneath the program, underneath my voice, but I'd love for you to hear it in full. And so, because we don't have time on the broadcast right now, I'd like to share with you the streaming information, and you can get it by texting me. If you'd like to find out how to listen on Apple Music, on Spotify, on YouTube, of course, YouTube's free, so many of the other ones have subscription models and things. But if you want to listen, I'd love to send you the link. And you can just text a word to my cell number. I'd love for you to text the word, let's see, how about table? Table. Table. Text that word to this phone number. You'll text it to me directly. The phone number is 309 316 7240. Again, the phone number, I'll give it to you real slow. I want you to text the word table to this phone number. Again, it's 309 316 7240. We've had such a wonderful time with you today. I'm enjoying it's exhilarating, the opportunity to talk to so many of you, but then as we slowly do our best to increase the quality and make it a better listening experience, we've had times in the past where the audio quality hasn't been what I'd prefer. We're trying to up the ante on that and on the production value. Those of you that watch on YouTube got to see a lot of behind the scenes things as well for Bible Tract Echoes this week already. But I'm looking forward to seeing many of you in person as we record some of Bible Tract Echoes live with a studio audience at our open house. We did it for the first time this last year. This year, it's September 30th. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have a wonderful time. September 30th, that's a Saturday coming up very soon. I want to invite you personally. Please come Saturday, September 30th, right here in Odell, Illinois. If you need more information, you can send me an email at openhouse@bibletracksinc.org. That's openhouse@bibletracksinc.org. Or once again, you can text me. Let me give the number one more time, 309 316 7240. My prayer, as always, is that you have a great day for His glory. We'll plan on talking to you tomorrow. God bless.